Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support means the world to us and helps others discover stories that share clarity and inspiration on the path of self-discovery. Thank you so much. Let's begin.
Chapter 1. Being alone as a way to get strong. Every one of us has felt lost in the world at some point. It's that feeling when you don't know where to go, what to do, or how to get out of what seems like a never-ending flow of other people's ideas and what they expect. But what if I told you that hidden in this feeling of being alone is a strength that can change your life? Friedrich Nietzsche said that being alone isn't a punishment. Instead, it can become a source of great strength if you learn to see it the right way. It's important to understand that being alone doesn't always mean there are no people around. Being alone is something that happens inside you, a state where you face yourself without anything distracting you. It's in these moments that the real you shows up, free from the pressure of others. Nietzsche wrote, "I am lonely because I know things that others don't know." This isn't just a deep thought. It's a key to understanding that you are unique. When you are alone, you meet yourself. You come face to face with your inner struggles, your wants, and your fears. But if you are ready to face this head-on, this is where the real path to strength starts. Every one of us wants to be accepted, recognized, and loved. But when we start looking for approval from outside, when we live by other people's rules, we lose ourselves. When this happens, being alone isn't a punishment, it's freedom. It's a chance to learn to be yourself, without pretending or being fake, without always worrying about what others think. Have you ever felt like you can't be yourself because you're scared of being judged? This is a fight inside that messes up your inner peace. Nietzsche's ideas teach us to find our strength in those times when we are alone, when there's no pressure from others. It's when we are alone that we can understand our true nature. You could ask yourself, what if I stop worrying about what other people think of me? This question is the start of the journey. Being alone gives you the chance to be honest with yourself, to learn what you really want and what your goals are, to break free from fake expectations. When you are alone, you don't act, you just are. This can be scary. Being honest with yourself is a tough process because sometimes you have to let go of things that are no longer helping you grow. But in this process is where the strength lies. You become tougher because you start to trust yourself and your inner wisdom. You understand that in the end, no one but you can say who you are and what you want. Nietzsche said the need for being alone is the key to finding inner strength, because being alone opens the door to knowing yourself, and knowing yourself is the start of inner freedom. Don't let the outside world control you. Let your inner self be in charge. One of the most important steps in growing as a person is not being afraid to be by yourself, because it's only when you are alone that you can hear the voice inside you. It might be quiet and hard to hear, but it's this voice that will guide you to your real purpose. And when you learn to listen to this voice, the world will start to answer you. So, being alone isn't the enemy. It's a friend. And through it, you will find your strength. Because the real path to yourself starts exactly where there are no other people's expectations and pressing rules. Chapter 2. The Wolf's Path. Becoming yourself no matter what. Have you ever felt like the world you live in tries to force certain rules on you? Everyone around seems to be running in the same direction, and it feels like you have to go along with them. But what if I told you that the real path to becoming who you truly are lies in going the opposite way? In becoming a wolf among sheep. Nietzsche said, "Become who you are." This isn't just a philosophical suggestion. It's a real challenge for every one of us. In a world full of patterns, expectations, and standards, being yourself is an act of courage. It takes guts not to follow the crowd, but to walk your own path, even if that path seems lonely and hard. Our whole lives are filled with a desire to be accepted. We want to be loved, valued, and recognized. And this desire often becomes the very thing that breaks down our personality. We start to fit in with those around us, losing our true selves. We say what others want to hear, do what's expected of us, and eventually end up confused, not knowing who we really are. The need for approval can become a cage that we lock ourselves in. And then you notice that you're starting to lose yourself. You no longer know what you like or what inspires you. You become like everyone else, which means you stop being yourself. But Nietzsche tells us not to give in to this temptation. He calls us to courage, the courage to be who we are, no matter what the outside world says. You might ask yourself, why is this so important? Why do I need to be myself if the world around me keeps expecting a certain kind of behavior? The answer is simple. You can only become happy and whole when you're not trying to be someone else. Only when you live in harmony with yourself will your inner state be steady and sure. And even if the whole world goes in a different direction, you'll be able to stand firm in your own truth. The wolf's path is a way to describe your journey, which won't always be easy, but will always be your own. In a world of sheep, you become a wolf if you decide to live according to your own inner voice. This doesn't mean you have to reject society and become an outcast. On the contrary, you can remain a part of this world, but still be yourself, not giving in to outside pressure. You can walk your own path, even if it's tough and full of doubts. Let's break it down. What does it mean to become who you are? It means accepting that you are different. It means allowing yourself to be unique, even if it means being misunderstood or inconvenient for others. It's important to understand that the more you try to be like everyone else, the further you get from your true nature. Nietzsche said that a person's true strength lies in becoming themselves, not in becoming who others want them to be. This is what real freedom is: the ability to walk your own path and follow your inner truth. Boldly listen to your own voice. Accept that you are different. Allow yourself to be a wolf among sheep. You are not like others, and that's your strength. Your path won't be easy, but it's the only way you'll find your own way to happiness and peace. Chapter 3. Overcoming Yourself. The Will to Power. Have you ever thought that our deepest sufferings and inner crises could be the very things that ultimately make us stronger? The will to power isn't about trying to control others, as many might think, but about the ability to overcome our own weaknesses and fears. It's a strength that comes from deep inside, when you face what's weak and vulnerable in you and turn it into your power. Nietzsche said, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." This isn't just a quote. It's a principle that can flip how you see suffering and difficulties. Every inner crisis you face is a chance to become stronger if you approach overcoming it in the right way. When life throws challenges at you, when you find yourself in a situation where every day feels like a battle, an opportunity for change opens up. Fears, doubts, inner limits, all of these aren't obstacles meant to break you. Instead, it's in these situations that you can truly understand who you are. You learn to overcome not just the outside world, but yourself too. Nietzsche's will to power is a drive for self-improvement. It's a willingness to work on yourself tirelessly. Every moment you face a difficulty and overcome it, you become a little stronger. You didn't run from fear and pain. You met them head on. And this toughens you. Many people are afraid of fear. We try to avoid painful situations, not understanding that these very moments can be the spark for our growth. The fear we feel doesn't have to paralyze us. Instead, it can be a sign that what lies ahead is a chance, not a threat. A chance to become better. A chance to become someone who can face difficulties not with regret, but with determination. By overcoming inner barriers, you train your inner strength. With each step, you become more confident in yourself. You understand that your power isn't about controlling others, but about controlling yourself, your fears, your reactions, your weaknesses. You become the master of your own path, not letting outside circumstances dictate your actions. It's important to remember, suffering isn't the end. It's not something that destroys us if we know how to work with it. Suffering can become what cleanses us, what makes us stronger. Transformation through suffering is a process that can create a new person from someone who might have once felt broken. When you face difficulties, stop for a moment and think, how can I use this as an opportunity for growth? How can I turn this pain into strength? These questions open the way to understanding that every moment of fear or pain isn't something to avoid, but something to go through, overcome, and transform. It is overcoming yourself that makes you strong. We can learn to be strong not because we avoid fear, but because we meet it and keep moving forward. The will to power is the will to overcome yourself, to transform fear into strength and failures into steps towards success. Chapter 4. The Overman. In his works, Nietzsche repeatedly mentioned the Overman. But do you know what lies behind this term? It's not a mythical creature, not something unattainable for the average person. On the contrary, the Overman is a concept that opens up limitless possibilities for inner growth and development for each of us. Nietzsche didn't present the Overman as an ideal intended only for the chosen few, but rather as a model that each of us can strive towards. Man is a rope, stretched between animal and Overman. This phrase by Nietzsche perfectly illustrates what he's talking about. Man exists between two opposites, and his life is a path where he can either sink to the level of an animal or rise and become an Overman. But the key here is that the Overman isn't a final destination, but a process. It's not just an ideal that can be reached, but a path that can be walked. The Overman isn't something abstract. It's your inner potential that can be unlocked throughout your life. The Overman doesn't strive to be better than others, doesn't compare himself to those around him. This is an important point. We often fall into the trap of comparison, especially in the modern world where social media and societal expectations dictate standards. But the Overman doesn't mean you have to surpass others. He strives to become better than his own past self. Every day, every moment is an opportunity for personal transformation. The Overman isn't someone who sets goals to defeat others, but someone who sets goals to conquer his own inner limitations. Perfection isn't a destination, but a process. It's a journey with no end. We can never become perfect, but it's in striving for a better version of ourselves that we find the true meaning of life. The more we strive for perfection, the more we uncover hidden possibilities within ourselves, and every step on this path is a step towards our own transformation. Have you ever thought that perfection isn't a goal, but a way of life? It's a way of seeing every moment and making it better than it was before. It's not a race for achievements, but a deep inner process of self-awareness, self-development, and self-improvement. The Overman isn't someone who has already achieved everything, but someone who never stops striving to become better, who uses every day, every situation, every event as an opportunity for growth. In a world full of stereotypes and expectations, being an Overman means being free from these limitations. It means living in harmony with yourself, not giving in to the pressure of those around you, and making choices based on your own inner voice, not because of social norms or the expectations of others. The Overman doesn't follow trends and fads. He creates his own reality, chooses his own path, and takes responsibility for his own life. Ultimately, the Overman is someone who strives for their uniqueness, not for conformity to some standard. It's a person who values every step on the path, understands the importance of the process, not just the result, and realizes that every moment is a chance to become better than you were yesterday. Chapter 5. The Enemy Within. Have you ever felt like you're your own worst enemy? Like something inside you is holding you back, stopping you from moving forward and reaching the goals you set for yourself? We often look for outside obstacles and reasons for our failures, but the main enemy, as it turns out, lives within us. It's fear, guilt, shame, doubt, those inner voices that pull us back and don't let us move ahead. The most terrible prison is fear of the opinions of others. This phrase by Nietzsche reminds us how strong the influence of other people's opinions can be on our lives. We often live the way others expect us to. We try to please, to be accepted, to fit in, and we forget about the most important thing, ourselves. The fear of being judged, the fear of being misunderstood or rejected, turns us into prisoners of our own fears. But here's the question. What if these fears are just illusions? What if what we're afraid of doesn't actually have any power, unless we let it control our actions and thoughts? The fear we feel often has no real basis. It's based on past experiences, on other people's expectations, on how we were raised, on what was forced on us whether we wanted it or not. And this is where true freedom begins. in being honest with yourself. To break free from the fear of other people's opinions and to recognize that your worth doesn't depend on what others think is the first step towards personal freedom. Your life is your path, and only you are responsible for how you walk it. Yes, it's hard. Yes, society will resist your decisions, will try to pull you back into the old ways. But the key is not to give in to this pressure. Breaking the chains of forced values is a step into the future where you become yourself, without masks and without fear of being rejected. It's a path that requires courage and a willingness to be vulnerable. You no longer seek approval from others. You seek approval within yourself. This doesn't mean you should become selfish, but it does mean you start to value yourself as you are, with all your weaknesses and strengths. It means you stop being afraid of your weaknesses and start using them as fuel for growth. The inner voices that stop us from growing are often based on false beliefs. For example, feeling guilty about past mistakes can paralyze you, but it doesn't help fix the past. Acknowledging your mistake and accepting it as an experience, not as a tyranny, is the key to freedom. Guilt and shame can be the chains that keep us in place. And to break free, you need to learn to forgive yourself. Doubt is another powerful obstacle. When we doubt ourselves, we open the door to fear. Doubt consumes us, slows down our actions, and makes us question our abilities. However, as Nietzsche teaches us, doubt is a natural part of the journey. Accepting it as part of the process, not as something destructive, allows us to move forward. Self-development isn't about being confident at every step. It's about knowing how to move forward despite doubts. You can break free from all these inner chains if you decide to stop being dependent on the opinions of others, if you allow yourself to be vulnerable and honest with yourself. And it's not easy. It takes effort and courage. But it's in this struggle that you become stronger. You become free. Chapter 6. Amor Fati. Have you ever wondered how your life would change if you started to love everything that happens to you, even the difficulties you usually try to avoid, the pain and disappointments that seem unbearable? Nietzsche's philosophy offers a unique perspective on these questions. He introduces the concept of amor fati, a love of fate, of every moment we experience, no matter how it looks on the outside. I want to learn more and more to see as beautiful what is necessary in things. Then I shall be one of those who makes things beautiful. Amor fati, let that be my love henceforth, says Nietzsche. Love of fate isn't just accepting what happens as if it has to be that way. It's a much deeper idea. It's actively trying not only to live through, but also to accept and love everything that comes into your life, whether it's joy or suffering. And if you think about it, it's in the tough times that we become stronger. Difficulties aren't just rocks in our path. They are tools that help us grow. They teach us to be more flexible and resilient, and they give us a chance to develop. Have you ever noticed how hard it can be to see difficulties as something useful when they become heavy and painful? But when you start to look at them as opportunities for growth, they begin to lose their power to destroy you. In every challenge, there's potential for self-transformation. Every moment of fear or disappointment can be turned into strength if we stop being afraid of it. Accepting difficulties isn't about passively giving in. It's an active change. You choose to see events as parts of your journey, looking for something valuable in them. When Nietzsche says, I want to learn more and more to see as beautiful what is necessary in things, he means that every challenge, every unpleasant event, is part of your path to becoming yourself. This doesn't mean you have to be happy about pain or suffering, but you can learn to see them as tools for inner growth and strength. Every moment you live through shapes you. If you learn to love your fate completely, you can let go of your fears and regrets, because there will no longer be anything you haven't accepted. Amor fati is a philosophy of not giving up, but of accepting. It means you accept your life, with all its dark and bright sides, as one whole picture. You become more mature and more focused when you stop being afraid of what will happen and start seeing opportunities for growth in it. You might ask, how can you love difficulties when they bring pain and suffering? Nietzsche's answer is that through this pain, we discover huge opportunities for strength. We learn to be resilient, and we get the chance to become better versions of ourselves. And it all starts with looking at your life with an open heart and accepting every moment of it. Finding joy in difficulties isn't being naive. It's strength. It's the ability to find meaning even in the hardest situations, because you understand that everything that happens has its purpose on the path of your personal development. Chapter 7. Embracing chaos. When you look at your life, you notice how often you want everything to be under control. We strive for stability, certainty, clarity. But what if I told you that the truth lies not in trying to control everything, but in knowing how to dance on the edge of chaos? Nietzsche, in his philosophy, says, one must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. This image isn't just a metaphor. It's a key to understanding how to find strength in life's most unstable and uncertain moments. Maybe you're going through a crisis, feeling like everything is spinning out of control. And that's okay. Life isn't supposed to be perfectly ordered. On the contrary, if everything is too predictable, if you have answers to all the questions, if your life has no room for uncertainty, it loses its vibrancy. At that moment, you start to die, not physically, but spiritually. Order without chaos is a dead life. The point is that chaos doesn't destroy us. Chaos is a source of creative energy. It pushes us to look for new paths, stretches the limits of what we can imagine, forces us to go beyond the familiar and find new meanings. It's like in art. Sometimes an artist has to allow themselves to paint strokes without any logic to create something great. We can't fully understand the picture until we allow ourselves to get lost in its elements. In moments of crisis, when everything falls apart, you have a chance to be reborn, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Crisis isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new cycle that will lead you to a higher form of self-expression. We all face uncertainty, the abyss. And Nietzsche tells us, don't be afraid of it. Instead, learn to dance on its edge. Dancing in chaos isn't about senseless destruction or negativity, but about the ability not to fear the unknown, to be open to new opportunities and changes. It's in these unstable moments that we meet our true selves, shedding old images and stepping over our own limitations. We become more flexible, adaptable, and creative. After all, chaos, at its core, is a catalyst for change. Have you ever felt more alive in moments of chaos because you're no longer clinging to what no longer works? The inner changes that happen during these times give you the chance to see the world in a new light. And maybe you'll realize that your fear of chaos was just a mask hiding your true strength from you. So don't be afraid of change. Don't run from chaos. Instead, face it head on and let it reveal new horizons within you. It's through it that we can give birth to a dancing star, new ideas, new versions of ourselves that were previously hidden from us. As Nietzsche said, one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to something truly great. The essence of life isn't about avoiding chaos, but about learning to live in it. Find your rhythm in this dance, and you'll see how everything that seems disconnected will come together into a unique and harmonious picture. Chapter 8. Creating your own meaning. What does it mean to you to be alive? Why do you think some people find their way, while others get lost searching for meaning? In a world where there is no objective meaning, you create your own. This is a central idea in Nietzsche's philosophy, and it's a message he left us as a key to understanding our own lives and the universe as a whole. We often look for meaning in something external, in the approval of others, in recognition, in success, in a career, in relationships. But this whole race for outside sources of meaning is an illusion. Nietzsche argues, meaning isn't out there. It's within you. No circumstances or achievements can give you what you can only find in your own inner world. He said, he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. This means that no matter what happens in your life, if you have your personal meaning, you will be able to overcome any difficulties. What does this mean for you? It means that you yourself can be the author of your own fate. You are not doomed to submit to circumstances or other people's expectations. You are a creator. You are an artist who paints your own picture of life. In your hands is the power to shape reality, and the only thing you need for this is to realize your power over your own meaning. You can choose what your path will be. You can decide what values are important to you, what goals you will set for yourself, and how you will achieve them. And maybe you think that such an approach is too idealistic or even impossible, but it is precisely this, according to Nietzsche. That is true freedom. The freedom to create your life without giving in to the pressure of the world around you. The meaning of life isn't imitating others or following someone else's standards. Meaning is the liberation from all these external templates and the search for your own path. Every moment, every decision is an opportunity to shape your unique path. And despite the fact that life is full of difficulties and unpredictability, it is precisely this that is its value. The more you understand that meaning is your personal responsibility, the more conscious your existence becomes. Nietzsche believed that every person is capable of becoming an Overman. And this means not succeeding in something external, but becoming the best version of oneself. He said that your life is your highest masterpiece. Not art, not achievements, not recognition, but you, your life, and your decisions. You can create meaning in the most inconspicuous moments, in the most ordinary things. Every step you take with intention, every choice you make, creates the path that is called your life. Don't let external circumstances or other people's opinions dictate your meaning. Once you understand that you yourself are the source of meaning, you can begin to perceive life as an endless opportunity for growth. Your meaning is what you yourself give it. And this is the most powerful force you can realize. Now, as you complete this journey through Nietzsche's reflections, remember, everything you have experienced, everything you have gone through, is just the beginning. You yourself create your own meaning. You are the creator of your own destiny, and your life is your highest masterpiece. Don't wait for meaning from the outside. Create it.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a like if this video resonated with you. Thank you for being with us and for listening till the end. There's so much more here that we hope will inspire and motivate you. With gratitude, until next time.